In this video, we will be seeing types of variables in Java. So already in one of our videos, we have seen what is variable. So variable is nothing but it is a name given to memory location where we store the data value which we use in program. And we can also in simple manner, we can say it as a data identifier. So to identify data, we will be providing a name to it and that is what is variable. So it's a data identifier and which is actually a name given to memory location where we store the data value used in program. And the syntax for writing or declaring variable in the program is data type followed by the variable name. So data type we mention, which defines what type of data can be held in variable, what type of data a variable can store. This data type will define, which we will be mentioning in the declaration of variable. So data type space variable name and we end the statement with semicolon. And in case if you want to assign value at the time of declaration itself, that also we can do. Data type variable name equal to whatever value we want to assign to the variable we can mention here. And throughout the program we can modify the variable value. That's the reason we call it variable. Value can vary throughout the program. So rules for naming a variable is it should start with underscore or letter. It should not start with the digit and it must not contain any spaces. And we can use underscore if you want to separate two words in the name, but we cannot use spaces in the variable names. And no special symbols in variable name starting, and keywords cannot be used as variable names. So now let's see what are the types of variables. So in types of variables, we are having instance variable. So instance variable is the variable declaration which is done inside the class, but it will be outside any method. And local variable, the variable which is declared within the class, but also within the method which is present in the class. So it is local for that method. It can be used only within that method. And static variable is the variable that is inside the class and declared as static. So local variables cannot be static, only the instance variables can be static. The variables which are declared inside class but outside method and also declared as static using static keyword are called static variables. So when we declare something as static variable or method, it is given memory only once and the same is used throughout the program. So at the time of declaration itself, whatever memory it is getting, the same memory will be used throughout the program by the static variable. So whatever changes or modifications we do to the variable value will be happening in the same memory. So let's see how it's written in a program. So first simple example I'm giving format how it's written. Suppose we have a class A. Then inside the class, suppose we have a method like void display. So this is a method within the class. So if we have the variable declaration, so here if we are doing the variable declaration, then it is called instance variable. And so this is instance variable declaration. Whereas in case of local variable declaration, this declaration will be present within the method. So if we are doing local variable declaration, so let's take it in separate page. So if we are doing in a local variable declaration will be present within the method like this. So this is called local variable declaration, and within this scope only it can be used. The variable can be used or accessed only in this scope. It cannot be used outside the method. So this is called local variable. And when in the instance variable declaration, so if we are using the static keyword in the instance variable declaration, then it is called static variable. So, and also the static members are not bounded with objects. They can be accessed directly with the class name. So using the class name, we can access the static member. No need of creation of object for accessing any static member. So when we declare the variable as static using static keyword in the class, then it will be called as static variable. Local is the one which is present inside the method, and the instance is which is present inside the class but outside the method. So let's see it practically in a Java program which we will be executing in Eclipse IDE. So here is a simple Java file student.java which contains a class student present in the package jtest1, and within the class we have the main method. Now I am going to use all the three types of variables. So for that, I'm not using all the variables in this class itself. Let's create another class in the same file. So I am creating class B, which will be containing all these three types of variables. And now let's see how to access them in the main method. So in the class B, I am also taking another method as display, a user-defined method, and I will be giving in this method the local variable, and in the class instance variable. So whatever declaration we do here will be instance variable. So this is the comment which I'm writing. Now I will be doing a instance variable declaration. So int x I'm writing. So this is instance variable. And then if I do the declaration inside the class, inside the method into y, then it is called local variable. And if I do here int z, then it is instance variable. And if I declare it as static, instance variable that is static. So it is called static variable or instance variable declared as static. So I'm commenting it. So this is static variable. This is instance variable. And within the method, we have the local variable. Now I will be using, or here, I will try to access the variables here, x and z. So here I'm going to create an object for class B as obj, and then using this obj, I will try to access x. So I am able to access, so I am giving the value as 100. Now the same obj I will use to access z. This also I will be able to access, but still here you will be getting a warning. The static field should be accessed in a static way. So I can access it directly using the class name. No need of object. So in place of obj, we can write the class name that is B. So this is static variable. Now if you try to access the one which is present inside the method, that is y, you will not be able to access it here. You will be able to access display, but why it is not giving in suggestion, and even if you try to access, you will be getting a error. So what error is? You are getting a error that y cannot be resolved or is not a field. So it is unable to access or get access to y. So the same if we are doing here within the method that is display y equal to 300, I will be able to do so. And no need of separately doing in the declaration itself. You can add the value assignment, and also we can print it here itself because it cannot be accessed outside the method. So I'm printing it as y value, and I will be giving the variable name as y and ending statement with semicolon. So now I can use the display method using the object, and this will be going displaying the y value. So you can see here, we are able to access X and Z, but not Y. And to print X and Z, we will be keeping a system.print.ln to print it here. And here also, X we will be printing using the obj. So wherever X is accessed, it should use the object. Wherever Z is accessed, it should use the class name B. And wherever the local variable can be accessed directly because it is local to the method display. And then if I run this program, I will be getting all the three values X, Y, and Z. It's building the program. So when it runs, we get the values as X and Z, Y. So 100, 200, 300. That is instance variable, local variable, and this is static variable. So you can see here in the class, Z is static variable, sorry, and X is the instance variable, and Y is the local variable, which is local to the method display. So let's write here local Y, static Z, and instance X. So when I run, I get this instance, static, and local. So this way we can make use of instance, static, and local variables, different types of variables in our Java program. So thank you for watching the video, and please do subscribe the channel for more updates on Java.